Hi, everybody. Good Thursday. Welcome back. Thanks for being a part of the show on this fourth day of the new year. First off, well, in honor of their win against LSU, donning the blue and white, and also in lieu of the fact Lacey had her wisdom teeth cut out today, so many hours on the road and not so much behind the desk. Does not mean, even on a slow news day, I still have a full show for you. An auto accident late last night, summoned emergency personnel to Job 25 on Route 7. It's been more than 7 games, close to 6-7 games on average for all of our viewing area teams that we have had an update. The holidays, of course, and a lot of road games, a lot of tournaments to be played. And they're just now coming off all of that and getting ready to come back to some home basketball action. I'll get you caught up with scores on many of our teams in just a few moments. A sentencing earlier today in Magoffin County Court for a man and a woman on serious drug-related charges. The woman still jailed on murder charges in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center. And a couple of corrections to make to yesterday's list of candidates that I've been made aware of. The information that we had gotten yesterday had a candidate in the wrong race, and we also have now, as of this afternoon, our 10th candidate for Magoffin County Sheriff in the most recent filing that I'm aware of. So we'll be talking about the candidates, and maybe not the entire list, but definitely going over those corrections, or that correction and additions that need to be made to your list of candidates, as we are now 26 days away from the filing deadline of January the 30th. A lot to cover in your weather department as well. No major changes, but some tweaks. But a major winter storm was bearing down on not just Kentucky, but a lot of the United States on our today's date in weather history. It was on today's date back in 1994 that a major winter storm was just wreaking havoc. Ohio, parts of West Virginia, over 2 feet of the white stuff. Vermont, 75-mile-per-hour winds along with a lot of snow. The Jackson Weather Service recorded 6.9 inches of snowfall over the course of the day. Down around Elkins, they recorded 6 inches of snowfall in 1 hour. So that gives you a little perspective on today's weather. We've seen some scattered flurries. We will continue to do so in our forecast, and temperatures will continue to be filled with Arctic air. And it's just not getting any better. It will finally for the latter half of your weekend, I'm glad to report. But we've still got some more snow in there. Definitely some more cold air to have to deal with. With that said, our first report last night centers around an auto accident on Job 25 late last night. In the cold darkness, the Magoffin County Rescue Squad, EMS, and ambulance personnel and law enforcement responded to the scene of this crash involving a teenager of age, as I understand, in Magoffin County, who was coming down the hill and lost control of this vehicle. I'm told the 18-year-old driver was alone, the only one in the vehicle, when on a gravel road, negotiating, I believe, a downhill descent. He lost control of the Jeep SUV and hit a rock embankment. He suffered some serious facial injuries. EMS personnel on scene considered life-flighting him to a trauma center. That was later declined, and he was taken by ambulance to a medical center for the severity of his injuries. We believe serious, but possibly not life-threatening. No other vehicles or individuals were involved. I'll also use this time, however, to give you an update. The Magoffin County Rescue Squad responded to this accident, and they just wrapped up 2017, confirming 265 total calls last year, resulting in over 16,190 man-hours and racking up 1,522 hours of official training during that year. Also making headlines this Thursday, the following 2 people sentenced in Magoffin County Court earlier today. They were arrested by the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department, found with a gun or guns, a serious quantity and variety of drugs, including methamphetamine. Arrested by Magoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Neil Adams, as I recall reporting at the time of the initial case. And after Amanda Mead, one of the 2 arrested, was incarcerated, she was soon thereafter indicted by a Johnson County grand jury for the murder of her child, for which she is still jailed. But she was sentenced today, as was David Jeremy Cottle, for the drug-related charges. There was, as I can recall, at least 1 gun in the vehicle and a significant amount of drugs, which also included crystal methamphetamine. And that night, David Jeremy Cottle and Amanda Mead were taken into custody. Since then, they have gone through the legal process, the court process here in Magoffin County, and both were sentenced today to years in prison. We know that 38-year-old David Jeremy Cottle, according to court records today, was sentenced to 2 years and 1 day on count 1 of 3 that he was facing, that being for complicity to possess methamphetamine. The 2 and 3 counts, second and third counts that he was facing were dismissed as a result, but he was sentenced to 2 years and 1 day. Meanwhile, Amanda Mead was sentenced to 3 years on a charge of possession of a controlled substance in the first for the methamphetamine and 5 years for being a felon in possession of a handgun. She also faced several other charges, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on the indictment, all of which were dismissed. She's been jailed since September the 10th on the before-mentioned murder charge for her infant, which died shortly after birth after she delivered at home and cut the umbilical cord without notifying emergency personnel at the time of the child's delivery. I'll be right back. Have the holidays and taxes got you a little strapped for cash? Well, they'll loan you cash today on anything worth $1 at Parkway Gun and Pawn, and it's also where you can save on all sorts of new and used electronics, tools, games, and more. You can buy them for pennies on the dollar. They also buy gold and silver at Parkway Gun and Pawn. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
From all of us here at Parkway Pharmacy, we would like to take this time to thank each and every one of our customers for their loyalty and patronage this past year. And we would also like to wish all of Magoffin County Happy New Year!
Don't let those you love or yourself travel with any risk of danger. Get new tires, the ones you need for the winter season at Conley Tire in Staffordsville, and get them with 6 months no interest. And get the major brands that you want to travel on with the latest discounts. Conley Tire, 297-2424. You want chicken? We've got chicken. We've got the best chicken of anywhere right here at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe. And we've got the best fish dinner too. 2 perfectly golden fillets with wedges or fries, hush puppies, and homemade slaw. And you want shrimp? We've got shrimp too. Get 8 big, tasty shrimp with all the fixings. And we understand, if you can't decide, get the combo. The best chicken, the best fish, and the best shrimp at your Sayersville Lee's.
We are all human. Because we're not perfect, we tend to make mistakes. Unfortunately, some mistakes are severe and carry more consequences than others. If you have been hurt in a car wreck, a truck wreck, or because of someone's mistake, reckless or careless behavior, you deserve help with your medical expenses, lost wages, and serious permanent pain and injuries that you have been made to suffer and will continue to suffer for the rest of your life. If you have been injured, I can help. I'm attorney Don Wayne McFarland. Call me and let me go to work for you. 349-9000.
Is this thing on? This is a public service announcement from the hardcore chant Rex Talladega, and guess where I'm at? I'm at Gateway Motors, the sickest car dealership in town. Look at all these sick vehicles we got, the sweet deals. Come on down here, see my buddy John Harris, let him fix you up. Dial 349-2277 or just dial 349-CARS. Who thought of 349-CARS? That's really original. That's really nice, John Harris.
Here's a correction to be made to your list of candidates. The list, as we had last night, had one particular person in the wrong race. We have since made that correction. I'll do so on screen for you now. And in doing so, I've also learned of at least one other candidate to file just this afternoon, resulting in our 10th candidate for Magoffin County Sheriff. And we have also lost a candidate for Magoffin County Judge Executive, as one of the 12 that we had has dropped out of the race. So real quickly, we'll just go through the list as I make a few other connections. We had corrections. We had a party or two that was left off. Claude Duke Ray Craft, a Democrat, had filed, as I told you yesterday, the latest to file for the Constable's race in District 1. Zachary Bauer, a Democrat, filed in our recent update for Constable District 2. Randy Blackbird Marshall on the Democratic ticket has also filed for Constable in District 2. However, the paperwork we received from the clerk's office yesterday had Mr. Marshall in a magistrate's race. Our apologies, it's been corrected, and those are the two latest candidates for Constable in District 2. Constable District 3, Richard Rex Love, Bubby Carpenter, Alvin Jr. Kraft, Homer Bailey, Charlie Bailey, Clayton D. Howard, all 6 Democrats, all candidates for Constable in District 3, as are the following individuals on the next page, or individual, Scotty Bailey, a Democrat. That completes the list of candidates for Constable in District 3. In the race for District 1 Magistrate in Magoffin County, Darrell Ray Howard, Republican, Democrats Harlan Sarge Rao and Ella Allen, and Republican Ivan Neal Howard, Democrat Robert Prater, have been joined by Democrat Tommy Howard, the latest to file for Magistrate in District 1. Also another candidate to file recently since our last update, Ronnie Jenkins, also on the Democratic ticket. Those are candidates for Magistrate in District 1 in Magoffin County. And with the exception of the name at the bottom of the list, this was what we had for you yesterday, and I should have pulled this off for today because that was the mistake. Magistrate candidates for District 2 include Eddie Jenkins, Gary Ward, Buck LeMaster, and Kathy Bailey, not Randy Marshall, as I've already referred to, who is a constable candidate in District 2. In the District 3 magistrate race, Republican Nelson Lovely, Democrat Joe Bailey, Democrats Randall Reisner, Brian Pennington, Ralph Lovely, and Charlie Brown, plus Democrats Ryan Reisner and Greg Fitzpatrick and Republican Darrell Arnott have now been joined since our last update by Sam Bailey Jr. on the Democratic ticket. Mark Jenkins still the only candidate for his office, that of Magoffin County Coroner. 2 candidates still the only 2 for County Jaller. Brian Montgomery on the Democratic ticket, Greg Minix on the Republican ticket. Democrat and incumbent Renee Arnott Shepard for Magoffin County Court Clerk has also been joined by Republican Josie Wireman Bailey and Democrats Anthony Wayne Rose, Big Tony Allen, and Diana Adams. A new candidate for Magoffin County Sheriff, as I said, joining before-mentioned Republicans Mike Nichols, Bill Meade, and William Jeff Salyer, Democrats Bob Jordan, David Neal Howard, and Democrat Johnny Lovely. 6 of the so far Magoffin County Sheriff candidates that we have, which are joined by Republican and incumbent Carson Montgomery, Rick Jordan, and Arthur Perkins, both on the independent tickets, and now another Sagersville police officer, this being the Sagersville Chief of Police, Matthew Watson, just earlier this afternoon, right around 3 o'clock, I believe, or so, filed his papers and has now become the most recent candidate and 10th candidate for Magoffin County Sheriff. We are now taking a candidate off of the list of Magoffin County Judge Executive candidates after Brent Patrick, I have confirmed today, has come off of the ticket. That leaves William Helton, Danny Salyer, Matt Wireman, Josh Puckett, and John Montgomery. Patrick coming off in the last few days, we confirmed earlier today through the clerk's office. But also still on the ticket, Ronald Reed, Tim Watkins, Carter Whitaker, Lowell G. Arnott, Don Reisner, and H.B. Arnott. That brings us down to 11 candidates currently for Magoffin County Judge Executive, with about 26 days left for anyone else to file for this or other races. PVA is still Jerry Patrick, Benji Gibson, Leslie Arnott, Dexter Allen, and Rebecca L. Allen. The circuit clerk candidates still consist of a Democrat and incumbent Tanya Arnott Ward and Republican Christy Joe Montgomery. And as I said yesterday, nothing new to add to the Commonwealth's attorney's race for the 36th District. Democrat Todd Martin, the only candidate to file. State Representative for the 92nd District, John Blanton, Republican. Ryan D. Mosley, a Democrat from Emelina, both the only candidates for State Representative. Dennis Prater is still the only candidate for District Judge. That is a non-partisan race. And Senator Brandon Smith, too, has filed for re-election to his seat and is thus far unopposed or joined by any other candidates of another party. I'll be right back. More headlines in just a second.
Hi, I'm Attorney Jeff Lovely. At my law office, we're determined to offer you and your family outstanding, cost-effective, and responsive legal services. I can help you if you've been injured in a car wreck. I'll be in your corner if you have a DUI or other criminal charges, to file bankruptcy and stop those harassing phone calls, or I'll fight for you and your children in divorce and custody cases. For all your legal services, contact me when it matters. In Syersville at 349-4522, and West Liberty at 743-1965.
You asked for it, and Appalachian Wireless listened. Appalachian Wireless proudly brings to you the plan you've all been asking for. Unlimited data. Unlimited data is only $80 a month for a single line, or get 4 lines as low as $200. See store for more details. Better service, bigger savings. That's today's Appalachian Wireless, an East Kentucky network company. Data speed slow to 25 gigabytes per line to 512 kilobits for phones and tablets, and 15 gigabytes for modems. See store for more details.
Like our 100% safe and secure mobile banking app at Sayersville National, we're always working to make your life a little easier. And our mobile deposit feature gives you more freedom and more time to do what you love the most. Just open the app, confirm the amount, and click. You're done. A safe, no-hassle way to manage your money from anywhere in the... Well, you get the drift. Now get the app at Sayersville National Bank. 349-3131. Christmas might be over, but the big markdowns aren't. I mean, just yesterday, I'm telling you that everything, except the trees, everything else Christmas, 50% off at Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop. Tonight, I'm telling you, it's still 50% off for a very limited time, but they've also gone through the store and marked other clearance items down 75%. That's right, 50% off everything Christmas and 75% off other popular items, and I mean for a very limited time, only at Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop for their big Christmas blowout. As at least 1 out of every 5 people will likely get the flu this season, putting hundreds of thousands in the hospital and sadly proving fatal for another 50,000 more, now is the time for everyone 6 months and older to get their flu vaccination, so you'll be 60% less likely to have to worry about catching it. They've got flu shots ready, so all you have to do is come by and see the people who want to keep you from getting sick just as much as they want to make you well again when you are. Get your flu shot today at Hope Family Medical Center in Sayersville. A couple of things on tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar, both of which I've mentioned briefly but need to remind you of, and both of which I'll just do so on the screen instead of going to our graphics before we go to our obituaries for this Thursday. The Healthy Choices for Everybody, the Healthy Eating Choices for Everybody series is coming up. Cooking Through the Calendar. This is a free series of classes with free samples, of course, from your Magoffin County Extension Service. They can cook some of the tastiest and healthiest meals at the same time. Beats anything I've ever seen. And they're going to teach you how to do it and let you get a free sample in and on it as well. The classes will meet once a month, and they'll meet 2 times that day, at noon and at 5, to give everyone a chance to get in on them. The first one will be this coming Monday, the 8th. That is this Monday, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. And it's at noon and at 5 at the Extension Service. February the 5th, March the 5th, April the 2nd, so on and so forth, and I'll keep you up to date. But if you go the first time, you'll get a calendar and a really good, tasty bite to eat, and you'll learn how to cook it yourself. And most other recipes pretty easy to do, surprisingly, so keep that in mind. If you haven't got yours already, as I told you we hadn't upon receiving this letter that was placed in our post office box, I guess last week, you need to make a phone call to the Big Sandy ad board to get your new 911 address here in Magoffin County. The mapping process is finally over. We all have our new, and I hope final addresses, physical addresses that is. If you get your mail through a P.O. box, it does not affect that whatsoever, but your physical address for most everyone indeed has changed. I know that our new studio, where the home of the Sayersville Independent is now, and soon to be home of Your News Today, went from like something in 100 and something East Maple Street to 15 East Maple Street, and I think my residence went from like 737 to, I don't even know it yet, 520 something, for example. So significant differences. Number to the Big Sandy ad board, 886-2374. Terry Trimble is the person you need to talk to. I will get that number up on the screen for you, hopefully on tomorrow's program. If you have calendar announcements, birthdays, or anniversaries, this is how you can get yours on the show. My intentions were to go to our daily screen with our address and phone number and the like. And my apologies, but you, I'm sure, have seen it before. But please send us your announcements, and we'll put them on for free. A reminder about services to be held Saturday morning here in Sagersville for Frank Johnson, 76 of East Mountain Parkway, who passed away on the 1st, survived by his sons Eric Eugene and David Franklin Johnson. Visitation will continue this evening, all day tomorrow, and up until services that start Saturday morning at 11, all from the Sagersville Funeral Home. And a reminder of services to be held in honor of 32-year-old Kimberly Ann Lumpkins Munez of Fort Myers, Florida, who passed away on the 26th. She's survived by her husband Jesus, her son Mariano, and daughters Nia Mack, Layla Jackson, and Juliana. Visitation will be after 5 o'clock Saturday and prior to Sunday morning services that begin at 11 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. Much more than diesel specialist, Black Smoke Performance is turning out excellent auto body collision paint and repair results with free quotes and estimates on everything from insurance jobs to that ding you got in the driveway. Custom lift kits, bed liners, winches, and accessories, and full diagnostics and repair on anything gas or diesel, from brakes to fluid changes to major auto repair. If you want it fixed, lifted, painted, customized, or just maintained, just call on the team at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Sagersville, 100 May Drive, or 349-8785. They're rolling out big, beautiful truck bodies every day, the best America makes in steel and aluminum, with their largest ever local stock of angle, sheet, round, I-beam, expanded, steel, and aluminum in several different finishes for whatever you're working on. And if the dump body you're driving needs parts, they've got them in stock. And if you need a big project fabricated from scratch, they've got you covered at Logan in Salyersville since 1904.
Hello, Magoffin County. Matthew Wireman here, candidate for County Judge Executive. If elected, one of my priorities will be reducing the amount of money coming from you, the taxpayer. Presently, as magistrate, I have no authority under the law to manage day-to-day operations. But as county judge, I will develop a budget that reduces the amount of revenue needed from property taxes. We will do more with less. We will provide the services you expect as citizens, and we will do it without bankrupting the county. I ask for your support during my campaign and your vote on Election Day. Thank you.
It's time to take a look back at the past few weeks. Been a lot of road games, a lot of holiday tournaments, and zero home high school basketball now for most everyone since back around the middle of December. And that was about the same time as well I had our last report for you. Not that I usually don't follow road games. We've had some other things going on here in the studio that I'll not have to mention that has kept us quite busy and a little bit under the gun. But nevertheless, backing up, beginning with the Hornets, they've got 6 or 7 games the boys do under their belt, as do most of these other teams, since our last update sometime around the 18th day of December. And since then, all of the Hornets games, as has been the case for most all other teams we'll talk about, have been on the road. Yeah, for Coach Castle and his boys, and you know that still throws me sometimes, not saying girls after all this time. Nevertheless, they picked up a win on the 29th, just a few nights ago at Belfry. This was in the Mountain Schoolboy Classic, 67-65. That was 2 wins in a row for the boys. Some good motivation because they only had 2 wins prior to that. That puts them at 4-11 on the season. They've won their last 2. They've got 2 wins at Belfry. An attorney there, 71-65 versus East Ridge, and then 67-65 versus Phelps in that overtime win. They had a home game set for tonight. It has been canceled due to the weather. They will next be in action hosting Pike Central this weekend at 7:30 on Saturday night. That's right, the boys here at home finally coming back for some regular, I don't want to say regular season, it's all regular season, but you know what I mean. As for the Lady Hornets, they too have been on the road. They have had their last 7 games all be road games, tournaments in Gatlinburg and Berea. They picked up 1 win out of those 7 on December the 22nd versus New Way Christian Academy of Texas by a score of 65-41. Now they lost to East Ridge in Berea in the Holiday Classic on December the 30th by 40-58, as you see here. That puts the Lady Hornets standing right now. Can you believe we're midway through the season? We are. That's how quick it goes. 3-11 right now for the Lady Hornets. They're even in district play, 1-1. They will be back in action next here at home this coming Monday night. Tip-off set for 7:30 with Coach Doug Green and our Lady Hornets. Going on to the Eagles of Johnson Central. Well, they were home Tuesday night hosting Sheldon Clark, and final score, that's not correct on your screen. It is supposed to be 91-61. They topped the Cardinals by 30 points. The 8 games before that, all road games in Pikeville and Gatlinburg for the seasonal tournaments. They will be on the road at Belfry tomorrow night at 7:15. Coach McKenzie and his Golden Eagles right now, halfway through the season, are dead even at 7-7 for their record thus far. And once again, that was a 91-61 win over Sheldon Clark earlier this week on Tuesday night. Going on to the Lady Eagles of Central, their last 6 games have been on the road, and their last game, a win over Danville in the Banker Hardwood Classic at Russell County, 69-45. They've been playing in Gatlinburg and in Russell County in tournaments over the holidays. Their last game against Danville on December the 30th in that Hardwood Classic, and once again almost more than a 20-point win. They are at Russell on the road in their next contest. That's going to be a weekend game for the Lady Eagles, 7:30 this Saturday. Going over to Tiger Country, also in, of course, neighboring Johnson County, but at Paintsville, the boys and the girls are all 10-4 right now, and I'm not talking about okay. They're that too. But for the boys is where we'll start with Coach Landon Sloan and the Paintsville Tigers. They, like everyone else, have been on the road. My graphics will catch up with my reporting in just a second. They've been on the road over the season, holiday season that is, at Berea, Rowan, Belfry through the holidays. They lost Tuesday night at Pike Central, 59-62 was the final score against Pike Central. And they will be at Sheldon Clark tomorrow, 7:30. They are the second half of a Paintsville Tiger doubleheader with Sheldon Clark tomorrow night. The boys right now, as I was referring to, 10-4, 10 wins, 4 losses on the season. They've got 2 wins and 0 losses in district play in the 57th, and game 2 of the Sheldon Clark doubleheader tomorrow night. That 10-4 season record to date also stands for the Lady Tigers, who've got 10 wins and 4 losses thus far. Yep, I had to do a double take to make sure. That's after a win by 4 over Knott Central last night. That was a home game for the Tigers. They dropped only 1 game since December the 11th out of 10, and they won at home in last night's matchup against Knott Central again, 64-60. They are the game 1 tomorrow night of the Sheldon Clark doubleheader at Sheldon Clark. Once again, they're 10-4 and 2-0 in their district. Going on to your Licking Valley RECC forecast, another brutal day in the neighborhood today. Tomorrow, Saturday, looks to be the last of this run for a little while, but we have to work our way up to that date. We will tonight have scattered flurries. We've seen them made for a good little drive at about 6:30 headed down the Mountain Parkway this morning. I can tell you that. And it was just patchy. You get into a nice little batch of snow that had already fallen by that point and had roadways just a bit dicey for a little bit. Most have been treated and were clear, but you know, you got it's dark and early and cold. You got to be careful. But then you just go through where there had been no snow to fall. And it's been like that throughout all the area. And we'll see some continued scattered flurries tonight before midnight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy. We should see 5 degrees tonight, but winds out of the west at 7 to 15 miles per hour puts wind chill values down to a -4 tonight, which is also where they will be for your Friday, even though we have partly sunny skies becoming sunny. Still cold, and even though we see 20 degrees eventually, we will see winds continuing out of the west and wind chill factors for much of the early day at least at -4 as well. Friday night's low, 3 degrees. There's just not a good spin you can really put on this right now. Saturday might not even make it to 20. Upper teens for daytime highs, 6 for the low. Good news is winds are going to calm. Snow is going to be gone, clear and calm, but definitely brutally and dangerously cold still. And then finally, we get to flip the switch to something a little more normal. Upper 30s rolling into town for your weekend. We had some 40s earlier. Now that's been adjusted. 37 though, and we'll take it for your Sunday. Partly sunny skies. We've got a round of snow rolling in Sunday night into your Monday morning. Could be a little more of an extended break, holiday/break for the kids. We'll have to wait and see. 38 and 30 on your Monday for high and lows. We'll also see snow showers, maybe some sleet, maybe some rain, freezing rain as temperatures start to climb out of that 26-degree low from Sunday night. So look for that mess to possibly be a factor late Sunday night, starting with snow, then a big changeover and mix thereafter into your Monday morning. Tuesday morning, we'll give way to Tuesday highs right around 39 degrees again, and a 20% chance of some flurries. I don't have it on your screen, but listen to this. 47 next week, next Wednesday, and sunny. 50 and sunny next Thursday. It's going to wrap it up. It's hard to imagine, but this first week, even though it's not been a full one, even though it feels like it, nevertheless, is going to wrap up with programming tomorrow. We hope to see you back here for more of your news today. Please stay warm, stay safe, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow night. Good night.